News at 5 in association with Accoland Amusement Park, Annapurna Foods, Junior Holics, and This Farm Biscuits.
Injured in Manipur landslide tragedy give eyewitnesses account of incident. Victims narrate ordeal as they narrowly escape death. Three more bodies recovered from tragedy site at Noni today. Total number of bodies retrieved rise to 34. Around 30 people still missing. Era of dynastic politics has ended, says Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma on sidelines of BJP's National Executive Meet. It's time for politics of performance, says Sharma. And Mizoram environmentalist rings alarm bells over depleting water levels of Aizaul's lifeline river Long, says need for immediate steps to reverse the trend. A very good evening to all of viewers and welcome to the News at 5. I'm Aaron Lingdo. We begin with a big story. Now, the landslide at Noni district of Manipur is one of the worst tragedies in the region, with 34 bodies recovered so far and at least another 30 missing. The tragedy has shook the region, to say the least. However, there were some fortunate ones who made it alive on the fateful day, thanks to rescue workers, locals and Good Samaritans who risked their lives to save others. So what actually happened on the midnight of June 29th? Northeast Live is the first channel to bring you the eyewitnesses' account of the tragedy. Our Imphal correspondent Sharat Chandra caught up with three of the injured persons undergoing treatment at RIMS Imphal. The injured trio, Raman Fukon, Maheshwar Fukon and Maniram Fukon, had a narrow escape from the clutches of death. Let's listen in to what they had to say about the tragedy.
मैं आपकी शुभ नाम जान सकता हूँ?
मेरा नाम रोमन फुकन।
रोमन फुकन।
हाँ
आप
सर।
कहाँ के रहने वाले हैं?
असम स्टेट का है
हाँ।
और डिस्ट्रिक्ट मोरीगांव
मोरीगांव का।
और गांव कुस्टोली खुरागोखबोड़ी।
रोमन फुकन, आप कुछ बता सकेंगे कि उस दिन हुआ क्या था और जैसे आपको बचाने के लिए कोई आया या आप खुद ब खुद वहां से चले आए, क्या क्या हुआ?
खुद तो नहीं आया सर, और हम लोग तो ऊपर से जब गिरा था मतलब डे बज रहा था, ऐसा टाइम सोच रहा है हम लोग, मतलब क्योंकि थोड़ा ऊपर में जब हम लोग चढ़ा था मिनिमम 3-4 घंटा उधर में बैठा है बारिश में, तो किले का पेड़ का नीचे में थोड़ा रुक के हम लोग 6 आदमी था सर। ऐसे तो हम लोग मिट्टी का अंदर में था। हाँ, ऊपर में एक पत्थर था, नीचे में एक पत्थर था। बाद में हाथ थोड़ा ऊपर में था और उसी से थोड़ा हिला के थोड़ा निकाला है हम। उसका बाद मेरा दोस्त और एक था गोपाल फुकन है, वो थोड़ा नदी जब ब्लॉक हो गया है, मतलब पहाड़ का मिट्टी इधर से तो पानी जाता है सर, और उसका हाँ पानी ज्यादा हो गया। उसका बाद वो उधर से लकड़ी से आया है, हम तो थोड़ा हिला के मतलब पत्थर से निकाला है। बाद में पूरा कोशिश किया तो ऐसे तो हम लोग मरने वाला है ऐसे सोच लिया है। बाद में थोड़ा हिला के निकल गया मतलब जाने के लिए नहीं होता है हमको और छोड़ने के लिए भी नहीं होता है, ऐसा हो गया है। पत्थर का ऊपर में खाली जैसे हो गया हम लोग का भगवान होता है, भगवान का नाम लेके उधर में बैठा था। बाद में मेरा दोस्त आया, एक कुंडा का ऊपर में आया, गोपाल फुकन है। उसका बाद वो बोला रोमेंडा ऐसे बोला हमको, और बाद में वही हमको बोला इसमें थोड़ा रुक पकड़ लो, हम तुमको लेके जाएगा।
जो घटना जो घटी करीब हो सकता है कि 1:30 बजे रात को हो सकता है। और उस वक्त आप लोग कमरे में थे? कमरे में था सर, सो रहा था पूरा आदमी, पूरा दिन भर को मेहनत किया है। हम लोग तो मेहनत करने वाला आदमी है, हम तो मिस्त्री है, वो लोग हेल्पर था। उसका बाद वो ऐसा हो गया है। बाद में हमको थोड़ा वो लकड़ी में
पकड़ा। बाद में हमको थोड़ा धीरे धीरे साइड में पहाड़ का किनारे में लेके गया।
लेके गया तो
उस
जहाँ जिस
हाँ
कमरे में आप लोग रहते थे
हाँ सर,
कितने जन रहते थे?
उसमें तो 23 था सर। हाँ टोटल।
टोटल आपको मिला करके।
हाँ हाँ सर।
जैसे आपने आंख खुला, आपने होश संभाला तो आपको पाया गया आपकी शरीर के ऊपर चट्टान ही चट्टान
हाँ।
नदी के किनारे पाया आप
नदी का बीच में था सर हम।
जिसमें था।
हाँ
तो
बाद
एक तो गोपाल फूकन आपको कह के गए थे कि हम बचाने के लिए आएंगे, वो खुद आए?
बसाने के लिए नहीं सर, वो मतलब लोकड़ी में वो भी आ रहा है नदी तरफ से। मतलब
तो
जब
गोपाल भी थे आपको कमरे में, गोपाल फूकन भी थे
हाँ मेरा साथ में था सर।
आपके साथ में?
हाँ एक
तो
ही साथ में सोया
आखिरकार
था।
आप सभी को वहां से कौन निकाल करके आया?
हम लोग को तो निकाला नहीं है सर, हम
आप खुद ब खुद
खुद
चल
हाँ खुद ताकत लगा के ऐसा किया है। बाद में और पहाड़ का उस किनार में गया है, किनार में जाके थोड़ा उधर से हम चिल्लाया, लेकिन आवाज है मेरे पास। लेकिन और भाई लोग कौन कौन है हम तो जाने नहीं सकता है, हम इधर है, बसना है तो इधर आ जाओ। बाद में ये और मेरा भाई है वो भी मनीराम फुकन है, अपना भाई है। और ये इधर से भतीजा लगता हूँ मेरा, वो ये महेश फुकन है, वो भी आया। बाद में वो भी एक लकड़ी लेके आया है। आके हम लोग एक ही साथ में, उसमें 6 आदमी था सर। 6 आदमी जब था, आदमी लोग ऐसा चिल्ला रहा है, सुनाई दिया है लेकिन दिखाई तो नहीं दिया है रात को। बाद में वो उसमें बोला आओ इधर आओ, कोई बसना है तो इधर आओ, ऐसे हम बोला। बाद में वो लोग खाली ये सिर्फ बोला है बसाओ बसाओ बसाओ। बाद में 1-2 घंटा का बाद में पानी तो फुल हो गया सर। पानी फुल होने का बाद में किसी का आवाज नहीं है,
नहीं था।
पूरा खत्म हो गया।
घर वालों को आपने फोन वगैरह से बात की?
बात किया सर, बात किया है
घर
सर।
वाले कोई आया क्या यहाँ पर?
यहाँ पर आया नहीं है, और सार लोग को है, एमएलए सार लोग को बोला है, और मिनिस्टर लोग को भी बोला है, हम लोग असम का। उधर में भी गया है, घर में जाके बातचीत किया है, अभी भी उधर में है सर। उधर पूरा
ठीक है। आखिरी सवाल रोमेन, यहाँ पर जैसे आपकी देखभाल करने के लिए कोई असम से कोई हमें सुनने में आया कि मिनिस्टर वगैरह एमएलए वगैरह
आया है सर।
कांग्रेस यूथ कभी आया हुआ है? कोई
आया
कोई
सर, और फिजिक्स हजीका सर आया था, और थोड़े पहले अभी तो आया था सर, उसका नाम तो नहीं मालूम है।
ठीक है, ठीक है।
और बाद में आप लोग का मणिपुर का स्टेट का ये
कांग्रेस का
हाँ आया था सर,
आया था, इधर
आया था, आके थोड़ा सम्मान भी किया है सर हम लोग को।
ठीक है।
बहुत अच्छा।
ठीक है। रोमेन फुकन, वही है, ऊपर वाले के सब हाथ में रहता है, ठीक है ना। कई लोग घायल हुआ, कई लोग मतलब अपने अपने मतलब अपने जान से हाथ धोना पड़ा ये सब घटने के बाद। चलिए भगवान को शुक्रिया अदा कीजिए, है ना? ठीक है ना रोमेन, जल्दी ठीक हो जाइए।
सर और एक बात बोलने के लिए चाहूंगा, क्योंकि हमको जब उधर में जब जो लड़का हमको लेके बसाया वही डेड हो गया है, गोपाल फुकन था। बाद में ऊपर में सुबह में मतलब सोने के लिए नहीं हुआ। वो बस्ती वाला का तो गांव का मालूम नहीं है, लेकिन बस्ती वाला भी बहुत अच्छा है। वो लोग हमको उठा के ले जाके वो लोग को धुलाई करके कपड़ा पूरा दिलाया सभी को। वो लोग के लिए शुक्रिया अदा करने के लिए चाहूंगा।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, नोटिस टाइप के जरिए
মই তাৰমানে এনেকুৱা নদী কিনাৰত ধৰা এনেকুৱা ধৰ এইটো চাইড ওখ নহয়, মানে তাত এই এনেকুৱা কাঠৰ লগ, তাৰমানে ইমান দূৰত নগ'লো মই, ওচৰতে থাকিলো যে, মানে ছাইডত শোৱাৰ কাৰণে ছাইডৰ এটাটো তাৰমানে চাইডে চাইডে ওচৰতে পৰিছোঁ। মানে তেতিয়া তাৰমানে পাথৰ ইয়াতে ধৰিছে হেঁচা, তাৰপিছত পাথৰটো এনেকৈ ঠেলি লওঁতে তাৰপিছত এদিগিও গৈছে, তাৰপিছত টিঙা এতিয়া কাটিছে।
ठीक है। और आप भी मतलब रोमेन फुकन के साथ ही थे?
और एक साथ है,
एक साथ है, एक
रूम में।
तो आप असम की कहाँ के रहने वाला है?
एक ही गाँव,
मरीगांव। ठीक है। और महेश फुकन, आप भी मोरीगांव का है, असम का रहने वाला है। अभी तबीयत कैसा है?
अच्छा है,
अच्छा है। डॉक्टरों की देखभाल कैसे चल रही है?
अच्छा चलता है।
अच्छा चल रहा है। ठीक है, जल्दी ठीक हो जाइए, और जल्दी फिर घर वालों से मिलिए, ठीक है ना? बहुत दिन बाद जल्दी जल्दी ठीक हो जाइए अपना तरफ से, नोरिश लैब की तरफ से।
Meanwhile, we also spoke to RIMD director Professor Santa Singh for an update on the health condition of the injured.
Who came across with Professor A. Santa, who is the director, RIMS Hospital. Sir, we have already interacted with Dr. Raju, who was just on duty on treating the patient. So overall, as a director, how do you have any, this knowledge of the health conditions of this three injured person from Assam, sir?
Yes, yes. From the day one, we are keep on monitoring it, and we are very, very fortunate that they are recovering very, very fast. And it was actually thanks to the God only, and these people, we have given all the free of cost and whatever provided, and even the some of the people who have come for there to help, we have given all those helping help to them, so to make them completely free. And completely we give the all the not only medicine, food, and everything's there. It was
Fast recovery is the best people
Yeah,
putting out
yes.
from the RIMS hospital side. Yeah, this is the Professor A. Santa, who is the director of RIMS, and according to him, from day one, that is 1st July, the treatment for these three injured person from Assam who are engaging in the railway construction work, treatment is given, and 24 into 7 doctors are just keeping close monitoring of these three patients. And yes, so far as the medicine, so far as the food is concerned, RIMS hospital giving them all of free. And Dr. Santa is also another. This Dr. Razu, they are very much confident that as their health condition improve gradually day by day, then they can be discharged from the hospital in the days to come. With video journalist Roshan, this is Sharat Chandra reporting for Notice Live from RIMS Hospital, Imphal.
And meanwhile, bodies of 4 laborers from Assam's Morigao district who lost their lives in the None landslide have arrived in their hometowns. Those deceased are Gopal Fukon, Dipankar Bordaloy, Harmohan Deka, and Pallab Laram. Now, these are the live visuals on your screen right now from Morigao.
এয়া পৰিয়ালৰ আবেগিক এই মুহূৰ্ত তেওঁক আকৌ বুজাব নোৱাৰে।
Well, these are very distressing visuals coming to us from Morigao of the 4 who have been, the mortal remains have reached their homes today. The natural tragedy that has caused so much of grief and pain and sorrow to the families and loved ones. And this is indeed the biggest tragedy that Manipur has ever seen. And these are pictures that are not happy pictures at all. Families, they're grieving on the loss of their loved ones. Very untimely death of all the 4. The mortal remains have just reached their native in Morigao. Now the deceased are Gopal Fukon, Dipankar Bordaloy, Harmohan Deka, and Pallab Laram. Right, so on the right of your screen, you can see these are again distressing visuals coming to us live from Agartala of the two other deceased in the None tragedy, Sanjay Debnath and Prasanta Dev. And as we all pay respect for the deceased, our condolences goes to all their families and loved ones, because they are the ones who will be going through a lot of pain in a very long time. So on the left of your screen, you see these are visuals from Morigao of the 4 deceased whose mortal remains have been brought back to their native. And on the right-hand side of your screen are live visuals of the 2 territorial army, Sanjay Debnath and Prasanta Dev. Again, very distressing visuals. A pall of gloom has descended on their families and loved ones. So on the right-hand side of your screen are visuals live from Agartala. Their mortal remains have been flown from Imphal back to Agartala, where the final rites will be performed by the families back at home. Now you can see their personnel of the territorial army and the entire family of the 2 deceased as well, Sanjay Debnath and Prasanta Dev, reaching their homes for the final rites. And on your left-hand side, of course, visuals that we're bringing to you live from Morigao of bodies of another 4 deceased who've just arrived from Morigao as well. A very tragic incident, to say the least. Well, not happy scenes there from Morigao and Agartala. Well, only God would know how much of magnitude and pain of heartache that they are going through. At the minute, it's really unfathomed. We all hope and pray that things would fall in place for all of them. Now, 4 of the deceased who arrived from Imphal has reached Morigao. That these are the mortal remains that reached Morigao. And then on your right-hand side of the screens are visuals that we're bringing to you from Agartala, where the bodies of 2 territorial army, namely Sanjay Debnath and Prasanta Dev, have just arrived in Agartala for the final rites. There you can see it. These are visuals from Agartala. You can see that the coffin of one of the territorial army being laid there in front of the families and loved ones, with the territorial army surrounding it, and of course the Indian flag on top of the coffin. Now, very untimely death, like we said earlier. These men have gone to Topol to work, and then this is what has unfolded. Very tragic, very unfortunate for the families. Now, the last rites will be performed in their native place. These are very disturbing visuals coming to us from Agartala. Now, their mortal remains have just been flown from Imphal after days of the tragic incident that happened starting from Thursday. Well, let me remind our viewers also that there are still people trapped there at the site, and then the NDRF, the SDRF, the rescue team still working to rescue the other remaining people trapped in the debris. But however, these are some of the bodies that have been recovered. These are visuals. They're from Morigao. A big crowd has gathered to receive the mortal. Now, the four deceased, and of course, their mortal remains will be taken for their last rites. These are visuals coming to us exclusively from Morigao.
যে তেওঁলোকৰ বাবে এক কাহিনী হৈ ৰ'ব এনেধৰণে
আরে আমি আরো দিচ্ছেন না নাহলে ওই সাইডে যান এই আরে সামনে দিয়ে আড়াআড়ি করে না বারবার করে দিলাম আচ্ছা মতো কালা ওই তো আগে দিতে থাকে তো মহিলা আছে যদি আমি বা পৰিয়ালে যদি অন্তত মুখখন এবাৰ চাব পাৰিলোহেঁতেন কিন্তু সেই পৰিৱেশটো একেবাৰে নাই সেইটো আপোনালোকেও জানে যিহেতু কফিয়ত আহিছে আজি ৩-৪ দিন ধৰি তাতেই আছে গতিকে চাব পৰা অৱস্থাটো একেবাৰে নাই গতিকে আমিও দুখিত যদি অন্তত আমি পৰিয়ালবৰ্গ যদি অন্তত মুখখন এবাৰ চাব পাৰিলোহেঁতেন আমাৰ অন্তত আমি কিবা এটা শান্তি পালোহেঁতেন আমি এটা কথাই ক'ব বিচাৰিছোঁ ৰাজহুৱাভাৱে যাতে তেওঁলোকৰ আত্মা চিৰশান্তি লাভ কৰক ভগৱানে তেওঁলোকক যাতে য'ত ৰাখিব তাতে ভালকে আকৌ ৰাখক আমি সেইটো সকলোৱে প্ৰাৰ্থনা জনাইছোঁ হয় আৰু অহা সম্ভাৱনা আছে যিহেতু এতিয়া ইতিমধ্যে দুজন পোষ্টমৰ্টম হৈছে পৰ্যায়ক্ৰমে আহিব বুলি আমি আশাবাদী আৰু নিশ্চয় এইটো আহিব
এটাৰ পিছত এটা বেয়া খবৰ আচলতে গাঁওখনত এক কাল নিশা বুলি
Well, family members there of the deceased breaking into tears at the loss of the two territorial army in the tragic landslide in None. These are visuals that we're bringing to you from Agartala.
थोड़ा पीछे अरे ये लोग को थोड़ा सा आगे से हटके दादा একটু সালামি দিতেছে দাদা প্লিজ
All right, and these are visuals from Agartala. As you can see, that the territorial army paying their respects to the deceased. And let me remind our viewers here that despite everything that's happened since Thursday, it's been a collaborative effort by the Assam Rifles, the Indian Army, the NDRF, the SDRF, all hands on board. And let's not forget the locals who've contributed so much in rescuing other people as well. So despite all odds, of course, we see there's light at the end of the tunnel, but the pain and grief that people are going through right now is just unfathomed. All right, there you have it on your screen, people paying their last respects to the two territorial army jawans, Sanjay Devnath and Prasanta Dev. Visuals that we're bringing to you live from Agartala. Their mortal remains have just arrived from Imphal. Well, we will continue to bring you all updates from the Noni tragedy, of course, and then every detail post that, including of every mortal remain that it's going to be taken from Imphal to the natives of everybody trapped there. For now, we need to take a very short break. I'll be right back.
News to keep you ahead. Evening Prime, every day at 7 p.m. Northeast Live, most watched English news channel in Northeast. Number 1 English channel in region. Highest urban and rural viewers in Northeast. Most viewed news channel of Northeast on YouTube.
जाएंगे हम वहां जहां की हर खबर छुप जाती है और दिखाएंगे वो जो रहता है आपकी नजरों से उझट। पहुंचेंगे हम पूर्वोत्तर के हर कोने में।
Political issues.
नॉर्थ ईस्ट की हर खबर से आपको कराएंगे रूबरू।
एक पूरा पहाड़ नीचे आके रास्ते में जो भी आया उसको दबा के चला गया।
नमस्कार, समाचार नॉर्थ ईस्ट में आपका स्वागत है। मैं हूं कविता, स्टूडियो में मैं हूं दुर्मेश,
मैं हूं रविंद्र चौहान,
मैं रश्मि भैया शेर, मैं नश्विता महन।
समाचार नॉर्थ ईस्ट हर शाम 6 बजे।
Welcome back, viewers, and thank you for staying on. And 3 more bodies have been recovered from the tragedy site at Noni today, taking the total number of bodies retrieved to 34. Now, among the 3 bodies recovered today, 1 is that of a territorial army personnel, while the remaining 2 are of civilians. Now, meanwhile, around 30 more people are still feared buried under the debris. Well, earlier in the morning, inclement weather delayed search and rescue operations on day 4. Incessant rain since last evening delayed the search operations by over 2 hours. Now, incessant rain since 6:30 last evening had led to fresh landslides in the area, even blocking the approach road to the tragedy site. Now, the heavy downpour slowed down the rescue operations as the surface turned sticky, making progress very difficult. Now, while as many as 12 bodies were recovered yesterday, 3 bodies has been retrieved during the search and rescue operations. Now, notably, the Army is using high-tech equipment such as the through-wall imaging radar, which can detect bodies buried up to 20 meters below in the search operations. Well, the search operations will continue till the last person is traced, according to authorities. Now, 3 more bodies have been recovered from the tragedy site at Noni today, taking the total number of bodies so far retrieved to 34. Now, among the 3 bodies recovered, 1 is that of a territorial army personnel, while the remaining 2 are of civilians. Now, meanwhile, around 30 more people are still feared buried under the debris. Now, earlier in the morning, inclement weather delayed the search and rescue operations on day 4. Incessant rain since last evening delayed the search operations by over 2 hours. Incessant rains since 6:30 last evening had led to fresh landslides in the area, even blocking the approach road to the tragedy site. Now, the heavy downpour slowed down the rescue operations as the surface turned sticky, making progress very difficult. Now, while as many as 12 bodies were recovered yesterday, 3 bodies have been retrieved during the search and rescue operations. Now, notably, the Army is using high-tech equipment such as the through-wall imaging radar, which can detect bodies buried up to 20 meters below in the search operations. Well, the search operations will continue till the last person is traced, said authorities. And meanwhile, Assam Minister Piyush Hazarika, who has been camping in Manipur for the past 2 days overseeing the rescue operations at Tupul, today visited the injured persons from Assam at RIMS Hospital in Imphal to take stock of their health condition. While conditions of 3 persons from Assam who were rescued are stated to be stable. And as per reports, these 3 persons will be sent to Assam via a special flight tomorrow. And a video has surfaced showing a camp of construction workers at Tupul in None before the tragic landslide took place. Now, in the video, the laborers are heard describing the flood situation downstream. While Northeast Live could not independently verify the exact date and time when the video was shot, it is believed to have been recorded on the day of the incident.
এইটো আমাক কোম্পানীটো দেখিছে এইটো পানীৰ তলত আছে টিংপাতটো এইটোৱে আমাৰ কোম্পানী আমি ওপৰত আছাং এই দেখি এই ইয়াত ইয়াৰ ওপৰত আছাং পানী এইবিলাক বহুত এইবিলাক বৰষুণত একদম নদী ফুল হৈ আছে এইবিলাক দেখা পাইছ নদী আমাৰ ঘৰ পৰিয়ালবিলাক এইবিলাক চব আছে এইবিলাক মহেশ কালিয়া হিতেশ কালিয়া গোটেই সভা আছে খোলা খোলা আহিছে দেখোন
Now, meanwhile, Union Minister of State for Education, Dr. Subhash Sarkar, who is in Manipur on a 4-day visit today, visited the landslide site. Now, the Union Minister, during his visit, interacted with the forces engaged in the rescue operations.
सारे आर्मी के जवान, एनडीआरएफ के जवान, एसडीआरएफ के जवान, बंगाल पुलिस सबको मिलकर बहुत ही अच्छा जो रेस्क्यू जो वर्क ये चल रहा है और इसके कारण आपने देखा मैंने ऑल डे एंड नाइट्स टुगेदर यहाँ से एकदम हटे नहीं दे आर स्टिल 24 आवर्स दे आर हियर and they are doing the rescue works.
Now, meanwhile, Darjeeling MP Raju Bista is also at the site of the tragic landslide in None. Sarkar is at the ground zero to oversee the ongoing rescue operations. Well, noteworthy here is that 107 Territorial Army, which lost several of its personnel in the landslide, is headquartered at Jalapahar in Darjeeling.
मुझे दुख तकलीफ इस बात का है कि यहाँ पे जो टेरिटोरियल आर्मी के जो जवान लगे थे उसमें से ज़्यादातर 43 जवान यहाँ पे मौजूद थे अफसर और जेसीओ मिला करके और उसमें से ज़्यादातर लोग दार्जिलिंग पश्चिम बंगाल के थे वो सब लोग जो है अमर रहे और उन्होंने देश के लिए सेवा करते हुए उन्होंने अपनी सर्वोच्च बलिदान दिया है। मैं इतना कह सकता हूँ उनका बलिदान जो है व्यर्थ नहीं जाएगा और वो हमारे बीच हमेशा हमारी यादों में रहेंगे। मैं उन सबके परिवार के प्रति मेरी सांत्वना है। जो लोग भी जिनका इलाज अस्पताल में चल रहा है मैं भगवान से प्रार्थना करता हूँ कि जल्द से जल्द स्वस्थ होकर के वो अपने घरों को लौटे। ये कठिन समय है मणिपुर के लिए। मैं मणिपुर के मुख्यमंत्री जी को भी बधाई देना चाहूँगा कि उन्होंने हैदराबाद का एनडीसी मीटिंग भी कैंसिल करके यहीं पे डटे हुए पिछले 3 दिनों से लगातार। मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है जिस तरह से फौज यहाँ की सिविलियन और एनडीआरएफ एसडीआरएफ के लोग लगे हुए हैं रेलवे के लोग लगे हुए हैं
मुझे पूरा विश्वास है इस रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन को हम जल्द से जल्द पूरा कर पाएंगे।
Meanwhile, Major General Naveen Sachdeva spoke exclusively to Northeast Live and said that the army is committed to continue search operation at Tupul railway construction site till the last mortal remains are retrieved. Major General Sachdeva was leading the army and the Assam Rifles officers during the wreath-laying ceremony for the 7 mortal remains of 107 Battalion Territorial Army who lost their lives in the massive landslide. Notably, 107 Territorial Army were providing security to workers engaged in Tupul railway construction. Now, while 14 mortal remains of 107 Territorial Army men were flown back to their respective natives in 2 Indian Air Force aircrafts on Saturday, 7 more bodies were sent by an Indian Air Force aircraft from Imphal Airport.
Yeah, with me is Major General Nabin Sachdeva, who is the GOC 57 Mountain Division. Sir, any word from you, sir, during this critical time, sir?
All I can say is it's a tragedy, and the army and the Assam Rifle are doing what they can, and we will make an endeavor. We are under directions of the GOCNC Eastern Command and GOC 3 Corps to ensure that the last mortal remains are recovered. And all camps have been established. The engineers have been pushed into action. The air effort where required is being given. All efforts will be made to ensure that the mortal remains are recovered and reached to the last location.
Last location, sir. So far, sir, we learned that yesterday also around about 14 mortal remains of Territorial Army being sent back to their this location, sir. Today again, sir, 7, sir. Altogether, sir, is it how many, sir, so far?
So far 21. The efforts continue, and we are in touch with the families as well. The air effort is being ensured, and all necessary homage as is due would be paid.
Sir, regarding manpower, we have also went to the location, sir. So far as the technology and machinery is concerned, sir, how they help to finding out the mortal remains, sir?
All technology is being used. For example, radars from even Leh and Siachen Glacier have been moved, and we are making a resolute effort to recover either the hopefully the survivors, otherwise the mortal remains.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this is the GOC, the Major General Navin Sachdeva, who is the GOC 57 Mountain Division, and he is very committed that this search operation will continue till the last mortal remains retrieved. With video journalist Roshan, this is Sharat Chandra from Imphal Airport, Manipur.
Let's move on now to another big story. The Assam police have arrested 4 individuals for allegedly breaching the embankment in Betukandi that led to the devastating floods in Silchar. Now, as per reports, the police arrested another person identified as Kabul Khan last night. Now, all arrested individuals will be brought to Guwahati for further investigation. Now, it may be mentioned here that the Assam Chief Minister, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, had ordered a CID probe into the incident, which led to unprecedented devastation in Silchar town.
बेतुकांडी केस में अभी तक टोटल 4 लोगों को अरेस्ट किया गया है। कमल खान, मीतू हुसैन लश्कर, नाजिर हुसैन लश्कर और रिपन खान। इन्वेस्टिगेशन अभी इसमें चल रहा है। विल अनर्थ the remainder.
Staying with news from Silchar, 2 dreaded dacoits were killed in an encounter last night. The duo, identified as Kamrul Islam and Amrul Hussain, were earlier apprehended from Jorabad. Now, the police, on the other hand, shot at the duo to stop them from running away. However, both died of the bullet injuries.
One vehicle was carrying 1 culprit and the other vehicle was carrying 2 of the culprits. There was a huge traffic jam. One vehicle got ahead of the second vehicle, and second vehicle as a to Pishot Roi Gol. In the taking cover of the darkness and slow movement of the vehicle, हेतुजी दुटा डकायत आमी आमार गाड़ीत आछे हेतु गाड़ीर दरवाजा खुले पलाई to palai go. They are dreaded criminals, so they were just running away. So in order to effect the arrest, minimum force was used. So in that tak goli lagi se আৰু সি তাতে পৰি গ'ল ডক্টৰ ফাৰ্ষ্ট এড দি পেলাই সিহঁতক SMCHত ৰেফাৰ কৰিছে কিন্তু SMCH যেতিয়া সি পাইছে তেতিয়া after reaching SMCH doctor declared them both of them brought dead.
Meanwhile, our colleague Bikram Sarkar caught up with Kachar District SP Ramandeep Kaur for an exclusive chat regarding both the matters of arrest with regards to breaking of the dike and the encounter in which the two dacoits were killed.
So, ma'am, first of all, we'd like to know from you about the incident that took place of shootout.
So on 30th of June, there was an incident of firing based on which a case was registered. There was like some property dispute going on and there was an incident reported of firing. An FIR was registered and when we investigated into the matter, we got a lead that the FIR named accused is on his way to Guwahati. So a team from Silchar police station chased him throughout Meghalaya and finally apprehended him at Jorabad. When we apprehended him at Jorabad, we found that he is there with two other accomplices. One is Lekoi and another is Anwar Hussain. So Lekoi is actually a wanted criminal in the entire Barakpalli, more so in Kachar for cases like dacoity, extortion, vehicle lifting, kidnapping, etc. for a very long time now. After the apprehension and like when they were being brought back to Silchar, this happened yesterday around 11 o'clock. So when they were being brought to Silchar, as they crossed this area Sonapur, so there are landslides in that area and it was dark by that time and there was huge traffic jam. So two vehicles were used to transport them back, the three of the culprits, two vehicles were used to transport them back to Silchar. So one vehicle just like got slightly ahead and the second vehicle which was behind, so taking cover of the darkness and taking cover of the like slow speed of the vehicle because of the traffic jam, the two accomplices, they opened the side door of the vehicle and they tried to flee away from the spot. So in order to effect their apprehension, the team which was there, including OC Silchar, they used minimum force to apprehend them. In that process, they sustained a few bullet injuries. Immediately, they were taken to the nearest PHC of the line, wherein the doctor, after giving them first aid, referred them to medical college. When they were finally shifted to medical college, the doctor declared them dead.
And any casualty in the police side?
Police has received injuries and they are also under treatment. One constable and one sub-inspector received injuries in the scuffle that happened in apprehension.
The day before yesterday, CM Dr. Himanthu Sharma had said that the strictest action will be taken. And we have heard that you have apprehended some of those who are involved in damaging the dike. So how many of them and who are they?
So far, based on the evidences that we have apprehended 4 of them, and they have sort of confessed their crime that they have damaged the public property, and consequent upon that damage, the waters from Barak River entered Silchar town and flooded the entire town, causing damage to a lot of people. So far we have apprehended 4 of them, but still the investigation, the process is on. There are probably another accomplices with them, which will be soon apprehended.
Is there any conspiracy behind or somebody manipulated them to do what they have done of their own?
That part is being looked into. There are many angles in the investigation so far. We are investigating all angles. There are angles to like economic angles, and there are angles that there was angst in the local public about that. So some departmental this thing also we are looking into all angles.
And moving further now, the Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Nirmala Sitharaman, is all set to arrive in Kohima tomorrow. Union's Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, will be attending the Nagaland CSR and Investment Conclave scheduled to get underway in Kohima tomorrow. Well, organized on the theme Partnerships for Strengthening Sustainable Development, the CSR Conclave is a first of its kind in the state, jointly organized by the Investment and Development Authority Nagaland, or the IDAN, with collaboration of the Confederation of Indian Industry, or the CII. Notably, 50 to 60 CEOs and CXOs from various companies will be taking part in the conclave. All this was announced by CEO of Investment and Development Authority Nagaland, Alemtemshi Jamir, while addressing a press conference on the conclave. Addressing the press conference, the IDAN CEO said that the Nagaland CSR and Investment Conclave will give a major boost to the NGOs and entrepreneurs to interact with the investing companies. CEO Alem Temshi Jamir further informed that besides the CSR conclave, the bankers and investors meet will also be taking place side by side. The inaugural session of the conclave will take place tomorrow at 4 p.m. at the State Banquet Hall in Kohima.
We are very happy that the Honorable Finance Minister has agreed to grace the occasion, and her coming has made a big change. And apart from the CSR conclave, we have got the Bankers Conclave, which is a separate event. The CSR conclave is being held in the banquet hall of the Chief Minister, the banquet hall. And the Bankers Meet is being held in the NBCC Convention Center. So the thing has become very big. And along with CSR, conclave, and the Bankers Meet, there was added the Investors Meet. So we have a combination of 3 events going on. This conclave has been mounted to try to attract more CSR investment in the state. This CSR conclave is not the end to the CSR activities. This is just the beginning. We are opening up the door for people to be in contact with the corporates, and experience. So a lot more NGOs will be coming in, and then the DCs, every district has been given a separate stall, and they'll be bringing in their own NGOs, and they'll be pitching for their own investment in their own districts.
A shifting focus now, the Assam Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma today took a direct dig at the opposition, stating that the era of dynastic and family politics has ended and politics of performance and development has begun. Now, the Assam Chief Minister and NADA convener said this during a press briefing on the sidelines of the 2-day BJP executive meet being held in Hyderabad. Chief Minister Sharma also spoke in detail about the economic resolutions that were discussed on the first day of the BJP executive meet. Well, he also informed that on the second day of the meeting today, Union Home Minister Amit Shah moved the political resolution which was passed unanimously. And as per the Assam Chief Minister, Home Minister Shah called the Supreme Court ruling on the Gujarat riot case as historic. He said that the top court termed the matter politically inspired.
Home Minister Sri Amit Shah ji has moved the political resolution. The resolution was seconded by the Chief Minister of Karnataka, Sri Bommai ji, and myself. In beginning of his speech, Amit Shah ji has drawn the attention of recent Supreme Court verdict on the various cases, or basically on the Gujarat riot case, and he has said that Supreme Court has cleared Modi ji completely and also exposed the conspiracy of various individual, ideologically oriented media person and NGO who all along conspired to defame Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji.
Well, Sharma also informed that during the meeting, Home Minister Shah spoke about the opposition Congress, which he said has a quote-unquote Modi phobia. The Congress, Sharma added, has been opposing every decision taken by the centre in the national interest.
Amit Shah ji has also said that whenever there are welfare position or welfare scheme initiated by the government of India, opposition criticize everything. Opposition has criticized GST, opposition has criticized airstrike, opposition has criticized surgical strike, opposition has criticized Ayushman Bharat, opposition has criticized International Yoga Day, opposition has criticized the vaccine for COVID as Modi vaccines, so on and so forth. They have only criticized and opposed every policy which was initiated for the welfare of the nation.
Well, Sharma further informed that Home Minister Amit Shah said the definition of politics in India has changed holistically under Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He added that today elections are contested on factors such as performance, development, and policies rather than caste and religion.
आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का नेतृत्व में राजनीति का परिचय बदला है। पहले चुनाव जातिवाद, परिवारवाद और तुष्टीकरण का आधार पर लड़ा जाता था। क्षेत्रवाद शर्म पर था। आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में इन नासुरों से हमें मुक्ति मिले है। आज चुनाव पॉलिटिक्स ऑफ परफॉर्मेंस और डेवलपमेंट के आधार पर लड़ा जा रहा है। यूपी, उत्तराखंड, गोवा और मणिपुर में हुए चुनाव इसी बात के दर्शाता है।
Well, further, Amit Shah stated that the Northeast has developed to a great extent in the past 8 years, and issues like corruption and insurgency are things of the past.
8 साल में मोदी जी के शासन में प्राणवाद, भ्रष्टाचार और पॉलिसी पैरालिसिस से मुक्ति मिले है। असम में भाजपा की विजय पूर्वोत्तर में भाजपा का परमानेंट उपस्थिति का परिचायक है। मणिपुर में भी दोबारा सरकार आया है। आज पूर्वोत्तर भाजपा का घर स्थापित हो रहा है।
And moving on now, Mizoram environmentalist Romal Sauma, popularly known as Roma, who became the first to row across the largest river in Mizoram, the Long River, as he completed his expedition in 16 days in the month of May, has sounded an alarm bell regarding drying up of major rivers. Well, Roma took up the expedition in the wake of the alarming PHE data that water level of River Tlong is depleting every year. Speaking to the media persons, Roma said that the PHE data revealed that the Tlong River level is depleting every year. The depletion levels were especially high in the years 2019, 2020 and 2021, he pointed out, stating that the rivers are depleting. Now, Roma added that when he traversed across the river in March, it was witnessed that the river had dried up at Lunglei Zobak. Now, the environmentalist said it was high time for people to start showing concern because both Lunglei and Aizol are dependent on the Tlong River. Now, we have come to a point where we can run out of our main water source at any time, especially with our smaller riverines drying up, Roma said.
Coming to Romal Somalia, and some rank one and saying, Nupui Fanau in and Omegani. Ray Vetokato environment, Chung Sang Hisu, hey, can they roll swat him? Atanga can they, he nevia, in can tal tam the leg and nuam the zong alone in Bokman here in Ka Vei Mang and come my Karilu Luatu, he and Mang and Iso. E ka Vei Tran Nakalu till tak na to rule hinita. So mi mangso in luchil taktak na zusiat chien zel du na ang kha kan dei so pa ta ni ru abang khan ni ka lom sum sum ai savate liking kan ti te atiang sang sang kha ka ngai na chin khop mai.
Well, a special prayer offering to mark the 87th birthday of the Dalai Lama was held today in Assam's Dibrugarh district. The prayer session was organized by Buddha Chetana, a mantra for progressive growth of Buddha Dharma and Buddhist philosophy in Northeast India in collaboration with the International Brotherhood Mission and Free Tibet, a voice from Assam. Well, the prayer offering was held within the premises of the International Brotherhood Mission in Dibrugarh. It may be mentioned here that the prayer offering was held for the long life of the Dalai Lama and is the first such prayer held in Northeast India. Meanwhile, the prayer session was attended by Ven Acharya, V. Karuna, Shastri Mahathera, Soumya Deep Datta, Lama Shastri Sangye, other Buddhist monks, along with supporters of Buddha Chaitanya Manch and Free Tibet. Now, besides large groups of Tibetans residing in Assam's Dibrugarh offered their special prayers to the Dalai Lama for his long life, good health, and benediction for all living beings.
আজি আমি বুদ্ধ চেতনা ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ব্রাদারহুড মিশন আর ফ্রি টিবেট ভয়েস ফ্রম আসাম এই তিনটা সংগঠন যুক্ত হয়ে পেলাই ডিব্ৰুগড় ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ব্রাদারহুড মিশনের এই মনস্থিত আমি পরম পাবন দালাই লামার দীর্ঘায়ু কামনা করি প্রার্থনাত বহিছিল আমি প্রার্থনা কৰিছো পরম পাবন দালাই লামা যাতে দীর্ঘজীবী হোক তেওঁৰ অহিংসার বাণী যাতে গোটেই পৃথিবীত বিয়পি পৰক পরম পাবন দালাই লামা আমার পরম পূজ্য আৰু তিব্বতৰ যে মুক্তি আন্দোলন তিব্বতৰ মুক্তি আন্দোলনতো আমি যুক্ত হৈ আছো আমি প্ৰাৰ্থনা কৰিছো তিব্বতীসকলে যাতে মুক্ত হয় স্বাধীন হয় তিব্বতীসকলে যাতে নিজৰ দেশ আকৌ ঘূৰি পায় সেইকাৰণে তিব্বতৰ মুক্তি পৰম পাবন দালাই লামাৰ দীৰ্ঘায়ু আমি কামনা কৰিছো মহাপুৰুষ গৌতম বুদ্ধৰ বাণী পৰম পাবন দালাই লামা সমগ্র বিশ্বত বিয়পি আছে আমি অহিংসাত বিশ্বাস কৰো অহিংসা পরম ধর্ম বিশ্বাস কৰো আমিও বিচাৰো যে অহিংসা পরম ধর্ম এই মূল মন্ত্ৰৰ আধাৰত সমগ্র ভাৰতবৰ্ষ শক্তিশালী হ'ব আমাৰ সমাজ শক্তিশালী হ'ব এই প্ৰাৰ্থনা কৰো
Now, in what has come as a major initiative to intensify its stand on the war against drugs in Pomai Naga areas, the Pomai frontal organizations organized a mega bike and car rally today. Now, the bike and car rally was jointly organized by Pomai frontal organizations, namely Pomai Naga Union, Pomai Naga Women's Union, and the Pomai Naga Students Union in collaboration with Senapati District Administration. Well, Senapati District Police, Forest Department, Horticulture Department, and Agriculture Department also supported the initiative. Well, braving against all odds posed by intense heat and rain, the rally traveled for more than 150 kilometers in Pomai areas, covering 9 different villages of Manipur's Senapati district. Well, the president of Pomai Naga Union, D. Dai Lord Pao, while addressing the media, said that the rally organized in support of Manipur's war on drugs was to spread the message that the frontal organizations will totally go against drugs with no plantation of poppy or related drug plants in the region. And that's all we have for you in the news at 5. I'm Aaron Lingdo. Thanks for watching.
To keep you ahead